Confidence is one of the most misunderstood parts of trading. Most traders think confidence is something you either have or don't have. They think it's something you gain from winning, something you lose from losing, and something you're supposed to build by proving yourself over time. But if you've been trading for any length of time, you've probably noticed something strange. Confidence doesn't behave the way you expect it to. You can feel confident one week, shaky the next. You can have a string of good trades and still doubt yourself. You can follow your plan perfectly and walk away feeling unsure. And that's confusing. Because if confidence came from results or skill, it should stabilize as you improve. But for many traders, it doesn't. It stays fragile, easily shaken, easily lost, quick to disappear under pressure. So the real question isn't, how do I become confident? The real question is, why does confidence feel so unstable in the first place? To answer that, we need to change how we think about confidence entirely. Confidence is not a feeling you summon. It's a signal, and that signal is responding to something very specific. Most traders unknowingly build confidence on outcomes. A win boosts it, a loss damages it, a streak inflates it, a drawdown crushes it. That kind of confidence feels good when it's there. But that's fragile by design, because outcomes are unstable. They fluctuate. They're probabilistic. They don't respond consistently to effort. So if your confidence depends on outcomes, it will always feel temporary. Even worse, it will feel conditional. I'm confident as long as things are going well. That's not confidence. That's emotional alignment with short-term feedback. And it collapses the moment conditions change. This is why confidence often disappears right when you need it most. During losing streaks, during slow periods, during uncertainty, during pressure. Those are the exact moments when outcome-based confidence has nothing to stand on. Let's make this real. Think about the last time you felt confident in your trading. Chances are you were coming off wins, or you had recent validation, or things were working. Now think about when that confidence vanished. Usually, after a loss, after a mistake, after a missed trade, after a quiet day that didn't confirm anything. Notice the pattern? Confidence rose and fell with feedback, not behavior. That's the root problem. Because confidence built on feedback is inherently unstable. Now here's the part most traders miss. The fragility of confidence is not a personal weakness. It's a predictable psychological response to uncertainty. The human brain craves stability. It wants to know, am I doing this right? Is this working? Am I okay? In most areas of life, feedback answers those questions. Trading doesn't. So the brain grabs onto the fastest signal it can find. Results. But results are noisy. They lie. They fluctuate. They don't reflect skill in the short term. So confidence keeps resetting. Up, down, up, down. That cycle is exhausting. And it leads to a dangerous secondary effect. When confidence feels fragile, traders start trying to protect it. They avoid trades to avoid feeling wrong. They hesitate to size up. They exit early to lock in reassurance. They overanalyze to avoid mistakes. In other words, fragile confidence distorts behavior, not because you lack discipline, but because you're trying to protect a feeling instead of execute a process. This is where confidence becomes counterproductive. Instead of enabling action, it constrains it. Instead of supporting execution, it interferes. This is why telling traders to be more confident is useless. Confidence doesn't come from self-talk. It comes from structural stability. So what actually creates stable confidence? Not wins, not streaks, not motivation, predictable behavior. When you know how you'll act under pressure, confidence stabilizes, not because you feel certain, but because you feel grounded. That's a very different sensation. Grounded confidence doesn't spike. It doesn't surge. It doesn't vanish overnight. It feels quieter, more neutral, less emotional. And because it's quieter, many traders don't recognize it as confidence at all. They mistake calm for doubt. But calm is exactly where confidence lives. If this is helpful, hit the like button and subscribe. These episodes are about building confidence that survives uncertainty, not confidence that disappears when the market gets uncomfortable. In the next part, we'll break down why fragile confidence actually slows progress, how to shift confidence from outcomes to identity, what stable confidence feels like in real trading, and how to build it deliberately over time. When confidence feels fragile, most traders assume something is wrong with them. They think they lack belief. They think they lack conviction. They think they're not mentally strong enough yet. But fragile confidence isn't a flaw. It's a signal. It's telling you exactly how your confidence is being built. And for most traders, confidence is still being constructed on something that cannot support it: short-term outcomes. This is where we need to be very precise. Confidence does not disappear because you lost. It disappears because the loss removed the structure your confidence was leaning on. If confidence were built on behavior, it would wobble, but it wouldn't collapse. If confidence were built on identity, it would bend, but it wouldn't break. But when confidence is built on results, every outcome becomes a referendum. And referendums are emotionally exhausting. Let's talk about how this shows up day to day. A trader has a good run. They feel sharp. They feel capable. They feel locked in. Then they take a normal loss, not a disaster, not a mistake, just a trade that didn't work. Suddenly, they feel off. Not panicked, just uncertain. They start asking different questions. Was that really a good setup? Should I be trading this market? Maybe I'm not seeing things clearly. Nothing about their skill changed. Nothing about their preparation changed. But their confidence shifted instantly. That tells you something important. Confidence wasn't anchored to skill. It was anchored to recent confirmation. And confirmation is a terrible foundation in a probabilistic environment. Now here's the part that traps traders. When confidence feels fragile, they try to protect it. Protection looks like hesitating on good setups, reducing size prematurely, taking profits too early, avoiding participation on uncertain days, over-checking rules to reassure themselves. These behaviors feel responsible. They feel careful, but they're not neutral. They're defensive. And defensive behavior prevents confidence from stabilizing. Because confidence doesn't grow when you avoid discomfort. It grows when you behave consistently, despite discomfort. That's the paradox. Trying to preserve confidence keeps it fragile. Now let's talk about what stable confidence actually is, because this is where most traders get confused. Stable confidence is not certainty. It's not belief that you'll win. It's not optimism. It's not feeling good. Stable confidence is predictability of self. It's knowing how you'll respond when things don't go your way. It's knowing that you will respect risk, you will exit when invalidated. You won't chase emotional relief. You won't spiral after losses. That knowledge is deeply calming. And calm is the emotional signature of real confidence. But because calm isn't exciting, traders mislabel it. They think, if I don't feel confident, something's wrong. But what they're actually feeling is neutrality. And neutrality is the state required for high-quality decision-making. This is why fragile confidence often accompanies strong emotional swings. High confidence feels great until it vanishes. Low confidence feels terrible until it flips again. Both states are reactive. Stable confidence doesn't swing. It doesn't spike. It doesn't disappear. It simply exists. Let's talk about how to move from fragile confidence to stable confidence. The first step is stopping the chase. Stop trying to feel confident. Confidence is not something you chase emotionally. It's something you earn behaviorally. Every time you follow your plan under pressure, take a loss without self-attack, walk away when you should, let a trade fail cleanly, you're reinforcing identity. You're telling your nervous system, I can be trusted. That message matters more than any win. The second step is decoupling confidence from momentum. Many traders feel confident only when they're in sync with the market. But markets don't stay in sync. Conditions change. Tempo shifts. Volatility compresses and expands. If your confidence requires rhythm, it will disappear during transitions. Professional confidence survives transitions, not because the trader knows what will happen, but because they know how they'll behave while it's unclear. This is why experienced traders often look calm during messy conditions. They're not certain. They're stable. There's a difference. The third step is allowing confidence to lag skill. This is uncomfortable but essential. Self-trust always develops slower than confidence. You can learn patterns quickly. You can refine execution. You can improve discipline. But trusting yourself under pressure takes time. Many traders misinterpret this lag as failure. They think, if I were really good, I'd feel more confident. That's backwards. The discomfort is evidence that your nervous system is still updating. It hasn't caught up yet. That doesn't mean you're regressing. It means you're integrating. Now let's address something subtle that damages confidence quietly. Comparison. When confidence is fragile, traders look outward. They compare results. They compare progress. They compare timelines. And comparison introduces distortion. Because you're comparing your internal experience to someone else's external highlight reel. That comparison almost always ends in self-doubt. Stable confidence doesn't require comparison because it's internally referenced. You know what you're working on. You know what you're improving. You know what you're capable of. That knowledge doesn't need confirmation. Another thing that strengthens confidence is repetition without emotional drama. Doing the same right thing over and over, even when it's boring, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's unrewarded. Boredom is a test. So is restraint. Traders who survive long-term learn to tolerate both, because tolerance builds trust. Trust builds confidence. And confidence built on trust does not fracture under pressure. What does this shift feel like when it starts to click? You still notice losses, but they don't linger. You still feel disappointment, but it doesn't spiral. You still question trades, but the questioning is curious, not self-attacking. You stop needing proof every day. You stop trying to feel good about trading. You just do the work. And that's when confidence becomes durable. Not because you believe you'll win, but because you know who you are when you trade. That identity is the real anchor. When confidence feels fragile, it's because it's floating. When confidence is stable, it's grounded. And grounding doesn't come from results. It comes from repeated self-trust. That's the long game. That's the uncomfortable game. That's the professional game. And that's the trader's hidden edge. If this episode helped you understand why confidence feels so unstable and what actually stabilizes it, consider liking the video, subscribing, and leaving a comment about what often shakes your confidence. I'll see you in the next episode.